Hello, I'm Marilyn Shannon, host of Conversations from the Psychic Roundtable. We're taking this opportunity to chat with people about what they do in the metaphysical world. We have some interesting people lined up for you, and today we're going to be talking about astrology and 2020 with Annick Rousseau. Welcome, Annick.
Welcome, Marilyn. Thank you for inviting me.
Always my pleasure. You and I've had some interesting times. Me as your student studying astrology, and you being very patient while I'm trying to learn this huge topic. Tell me, how did you get started in astrology?
I started astrology a long time ago, and it's really a personal path because I had a mother that was sick, and her illness was very specific. It is what we call water mania. So around the world, that might be only 3,000 people like that. So basically, I grew up seeing someone struggling, dealing with an illness that no one knows about it. And as a child, I was observing my mother. I was wondering why her, and a lot of questions came up. And I started to read a tons of books about psychology, about autism, and I didn't find any answer. And to do the story, the life of my mother ended when I was 20, and I had no answer to why it was like that. And for me, there was no sense having a life and struggling with such issue without a link with past life, psychology, roots, something like that. So that's how I started with astrology, basically.
And you told me the other day it took a while before you got the answers about your mother's illness.
Yeah, it took a while because life is going on. You get married, you have children, you work, so you don't have so many times to do the quest or the information you would like. So basically, it's when I moved to Canada that I had the opportunity to join astrology courses. And yeah, so basically that's how it started.
So you told me also that back 25 years ago, they were talking about 2020 in the astrology world. Why were they talking about 2020 25 years ago?
Well, I think that what is important to know is astrology is based on the study of the cycles of the planets. You study the planets. Planets have energies, but they also have big cycles. And when I started to study astrology, we were speaking of 2020 because 2020 is basically a reset in humanity. 2020 is a big year for the starting of new big cycles. So of course, it's new foundation. It's a new departure for humanity, for values, for the banking system, for governments. It's really huge. So that's why we were speaking about it. And we are there. So in fact, at that time, maybe we could imagine the way it was going to show, the way it was going to be physically, but we knew as an energy, it was huge, very huge.
Has it disappointed?
No, not actually. Not actually. But it's interesting. And to be honest, we all have to keep in mind that in nature, there's always a balance. Nothing is so terrific that we will lose everything. There's always a balance between positive and negative. So even it seems very hard and a lot of people are suffering, there will be also very good thing coming through that, because there's always a balance.
So you talked about the governments and health and this and that. Astrology will tell us something about all of those topics?
Yes, because when you do astrology, planets and signs are linked to institutions, sorry, or are linked to specific energy. So for example, when we say in 2020, it's the start of new big cycle, the one we have and we know it's Pluto and Saturn. Pluto and Saturn is a very big cycle. It's a 33 years cycle. And every 33 years, those planets are in contact in very hard aspect or strong aspect. And they are linked to pandemic. If we go through the history and through different dates, at the beginning of the, in 1907, for example, it was the plague. In 1914, it was the Spanish flu, and so on and so on. So these planets are really a regulation of pandemics. But Saturn it's an energy of structure, of government, of laws, regulations. So and Pluto, it's like the phoenix, it's a destruction for a rebirth. So when you have those two in contact, we are pretty sure that there will be a big shake in all the existing structure. So that's one of the cycle we have actually. The other big cycle starting in 2020 is Jupiter conjunct to Saturn. So Jupiter is expansion. Saturn is contraction, restriction. So they are not in, their energy are very contrary. But the most important thing to know, Jupiter and Saturn, they have a 20-year cycle for a whole cycle of 240 years to cover the 4 elements of the zodiac, which is air, fire, earth, and water. In 2020, those 2 planets are starting a new cycle in air. And before that, their cycle was on earth element. So earth is everything materialistic, everything linked to your properties, money, what you own, your value as building your house, you're having, having things for you. In hair, it's totally different. It's something that you cannot, it's not, you cannot see it. You can feel things, but you cannot see it. So of course, the starting of this new cycle will make big change in the way we are perceiving our values as human, in the way we are seeing our way of living, everything. So, and it happens this year, of course.
This year. So
but
the question.
It's a start. So it goes very slowly.
Yes. All right. So the big question here, Annick, is when will we start to feel that it's getting better?
We will feel it slowly. I would say that this summer will be much better, but we still have to be cautious. We still have to pay attention to what we do. We still have to maintain social distancing. It's very important because we may have a second wave in October, November. In 2021, the big shakes might be around the, we might see money issues, bank issues, but then after that, it will go much better, slowly but much better. So by the mid-year of 2021, that's going to be much better.
So it's okay for me to plan a conference for 2021 November.
Yes.
All right. Keeping it personal.
You can do it. Yeah, and I think you can do it. But what you can do also, for example, if you have a date, we can build the charts of the day of the conference and see what's going on, because it will give you a lot of information.
All right, we'll take you up on that. But tell me also, I have a new grandnephew born just this week, and can I get a chart done for him? Is that something that we can do?
Yes, and I will tell you, in some countries, we are not used to that in our Western countries, but I met a guy from Sri Lanka, and he told me that in those countries, they all have an astrology book as soon as they're born. And this book, they have to present it to their employers. When they go to government, it's really a personal book with all their personality traits. So when you have a newborn in a family, to do the astrology chart of a newborn gives you a lot of information about his psychology, way of analyzing things. So it's very helpful.
I'm looking forward to getting one of those done. And where do I make contact with you, Annick? How do I find you?
Well, I have a website, which is astro4u99.com. So you can find there all the information. And I do also some Zoom conference. The one on the newborn, they will be there on, if I'm right, on the Tuesday, because I don't know if it's Monday or Tuesday, I have to check, but they will be on Zoom, and I advertise them on the Facebook page.
All right. So we can find you on Facebook, we can find you at your website, yes, and we can find out all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah,
about our world from you.
No, and I offer courses in astrology, workshops, and of course, readings. Yeah.
Lovely. Lovely. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm glad that 2021 is going to be better for us.
Yeah, it goes. We have to take it slowly. I think that's the key, because with Saturn there, it's a slow planet. Don't rush it. Take it slowly but surely.
All right.
And then we can make it.
Thank you, Annick. We'll talk to you again.
Thank you very much.